Let me tell you about a football tournament that featured Real Madrid, Juventus, and Tottenham. They competed for $2 million in prize money, and it drew more than 60,000 fans. And somehow, you've never heard of it. Why? Because it was founded by Reverend Myung Moon. And in modern sports journalism, that's apparently all it takes to erase an entire decade of international football. The Peace Cup ran from 2003 to 2012. FIFA-Accredited, Korean Football Association approved, Pelé even served as the honorary ambassador. But mention the Unification Church and suddenly editors become very interested in other stories. So let's talk about what happens when ideological gatekeepers decide which acts of peace building get remembered and which get ignored. So here's what the Peace Cup actually was. An invitational tournament bringing elite clubs to South Korea and later Spain to compete and participate in service projects. Profits didn't go into private pockets. They funded youth soccer programs in 35 developing countries, including the Gaza Strip. Think about that. While global football chased corporate deals, this tournament used sport as a tool for peace. Reverend Moon announced in 2002 in a speech titled "The Role of Sports in Creating World Peace." His vision: through soccer, you can unite all peoples. Not because the game is gentle, but because football crosses borders more smoothly than any other political summit. And here's what the media never tells you. The Peace Cup was the culmination of decades of investment in football as a vehicle for unity. Reverend Moon founded Seongnam Ilhwa Chonma in Korea. He built clubs in Brazil, Sene and Atletico Sorocaba, working at the grassroots long before cameras cared. This wasn't PR, this wasn't a gimmick, this was a mission. A multi-decade, multi-continent mission to prove that football can build peace. Now, I can already hear the objection. We already have the World Cup. Why do we need another tournament? Fair question, but here's the answer. The World Cup unites people through rivalry, through competition, through national pride. The Peace Cup united people through service, through community engagement, through an explicit mission, living for the sake of others. Clubs weren't just competing, they were serving, they were modeling peace, they were demonstrating that elite athletes can represent something bigger than brand deals. And here's the part everyone forgets. It worked. PSV Eindhoven, Loin, Tottenham, Aston Villa, Hamburger SV. The 2003 opener drew 51,000 fans. The 2005 edition drew 62,000 fans. Park Ji-sung won the Global Ball in 2003. Karim Benzema won it in 2007. Yes, that Benzema. The Peace Queen Cup launched in 2006. Moon donated $1 million to youth development in 2005. By competitive standards, attendance standards, and social media standards, the Peace Cup was a success. It proved faith-based organizations could operate at the highest level of international sport without compromising integrity. Reverend Moon passed away in 2012. The final Peace Cup was held a month later, then silenced. But the mission didn't end. Dr. Hak Ja-han Moon continued the work through Peace Cup USA, a multi-sport festival in 2005 featuring basketball, esports, even Korean traditional sports like jokgu. Sun Heung-min, Tottenham's captain and global icon, has publicly associated with the initiative. But ESPN, BBC, documentary filmmakers, nothing, not a word. And that tells you everything about our media landscape. Here's the truth. Modern journalism doesn't prioritize the truth, it prioritizes acceptable narratives. Billionaires using sports for geopolitics, that's complex. Qatar's migrant labor crisis, important to discuss about. Corporate greenwashing, nuanced. But a religious leader who spent decades building clubs, funding development, and creating an international peace tournament, that's too weird, too uncomfortable, too outside the norm. The Peace Cup wasn't a stunt. It was the capstone of a multi-decade, multi-continent investment in football as a tool for peace. Reverend Moon didn't talk about it. He built it, team by team, country by country, year after year. So here's what you need to understand. The Peace Cup mattered. It succeeded. It made a difference in 35 countries. The only reason you never heard of it is because someone decided you shouldn't. Dr. Hak Ja-han Moon continues the mission today. The 2005 Peace Cup USA is alive. The vision is alive. The impact is real. You can dismiss it because of religion, or you can admit the truth. Good work is good work, no matter who does it. The Peace Cup proves something our cynical age needs to remember. Idealism and excellence are not opposites. Football can be more than entertainment. It can be a tool for unity, a tool for peace, a tool for service. Reverend Moon didn't just say football was the game of peace. He built the teams, he funded the clubs, he created the tournament, he showed the world. 62,000 fans understood that. Maybe it's time for the rest of us did too. Think for yourself, question the silence, and remember, the stories they don't tell you about are the ones you need the most.